Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Heather, and in today's video we are going to be deep cleaning this beautiful kitchen here for a disabled veteran who is actually also my friend. I met her through work many years ago, and so we are just jumping in here and going to give her kitchen a very good deep cleaning. So the goal of today's video is we're not really doing any organizing or decluttering. This woman is a wonderful cook, and so really everything in our cabinets she uses. So there's not really a whole lot to get rid of, and I didn't want to rearrange anything too much. Again, she is a cook. She cooks up a storm here in this kitchen, so I know she knows where all of her items are, and so I didn't want to mess with anything too much and then have her go back into the kitchen and be like, where's all my stuff? So I left pretty much everything in where it was, took everything out, gave everything a really good scrub down and degreased and just made it shine again. So that is the goal of today's video, is just to get everything incredibly clean. So I'm sure you have noticed by now that I'm not playing any music in this video. I was able to work alone in the house on this day, and it was just super quiet and peaceful. So I decided to leave all of the natural sounds in, and so you get all of that ASMR or whatever they call it. It was actually fun to listen to all of it back and hear all of the scrubbing sounds and all of that. So this top cabinet here, I was actually standing on one of their chairs, and it's actually like a bar height chair, and I still had to like use the mop to get all the way back in there. So my friend is super tall, so she just needs a step stool to reach all the way back there, but I am definitely on the short side, so I needed a little extra assistance today. So as I'm pulling everything out, I'm putting it out on the counters and kind of out on the floor, and basically in the same way that it is in the cabinets. So I can remember how everything went back. I actually took pictures as well. Again, I don't want to disrupt her process or just her flow and how she cooks, because she loves to cook. That is her passion. So I wanted to keep everything in the same spot as best as I could. I didn't want her to go reach for something and then not be able to find it. So just giving all of the counters, or rather the cabinets, a good scrub down in that bucket. I just have really hot water and Dawn dish soap, and that does a really great job of cleaning everything up and breaking down any of the grease. So while I was waiting for that shelf to dry, I didn't want to put all the food back while it was still wet, even though I had kind of wiped it down to dry it off. So while that was air drying, I just tackled the doors. There was just kind of a buildup of grease. You know, when you're cooking, you just grab into the cabinets, and just the grease from your hands over time and the grease from cooking can kind of build up on there. And she has like this shaker style cabinet, so I feel like it's so easy for buildup to kind of get into those cracks, that kind of squared off space. It's a little difficult to get into, but I had my electric scrubber with me, and it has like this pointed tip, and it worked beautifully to get into those spaces. So if you have any of those shaker style cabinets and struggled to get into those little cracks and crevices, definitely one like the one I have is from the Pink Stuff. I know Rubbermaid makes one, and even an old-fashioned toothbrush will do the job, but just something to get all up in those little corners. So I moved over onto the oven to get everything, to spray it all down and get all of those chemicals working while I finished cleaning. I should have probably started it before I started on the cabinets, but that's okay. I still let it sit for several hours, and you may see me taking out these pots and pans and think, well, why are they in there? This is how some people store their pots and pans, especially if you have a kitchen that's on the smaller side. So that's why they are in there. And I do put them back whenever I am done cleaning the oven. So just letting you know in case you were curious. My little vacuum had actually died, so I had to go plug it in and let it charge for a little while, so that's why I was not able to vacuum up this drawer, but it cleaned up pretty easily. There weren't too many crumbs in here, so I was able to get it all while the vacuum was charging. So I didn't want to put back all of the food items and containers on that drawer while it was still wet. So I had wiped it down to dry it, and so I was just letting it continue to air dry. And so I thought I'd tackle these doors while that was going on. And again, I'm just using hot water and with some Dawn dish soap and a Scrub Daddy, and then in all of those little corners, I am using my electric scrub brush. So it's really getting in those corners and lifting out all of that dirt that's stuck in there, and it's doing a great job. So this was the only time this day that I actually threw any of the food out. There were potatoes on the bottom shelf here, and they were sprouting and looking a little funky, so I had to get those out, but everything else in the house was good. Nothing was expired. That was the only thing that was looking a little funky there, so I just sprayed everything down with Dawn Power Wash and going in with my Scrub Daddy to lift up as much as that as I can, and then I go back in with a razor scraper, and this is real wood, so I didn't want to damage it, and I made sure the surface was actually kind of wet to provide like some lubrication there, and I just very lightly, like I just let it glide over the surface to lift up anything that was still stuck on, so that I didn't scrape any of that wood, and all of it was able to come up. So this drawer was pretty stuffed. I found lots of duplicates, triplicates, and then some. But again, she is the cook. I don't cook at all, so I probably think it's excessive. She cooks like a crazy person. She's always cooking. She absolutely loves it. So I am definitely not a good judge of what is essential or not in a kitchen at all. I have the absolute bare minimum in my kitchen to get the job done, and that is about it. And also, she was not working really with me this whole day to even be able to like go through the items and declutter. Again, our goal was just to clean. This was actually her birthday weekend. So on this day, she was out running errands and doing all sorts of stuff around the house to get ready to go to Vegas for her birthday. So that was really exciting that whenever she comes back, she will have a super clean kitchen. So you might have noticed I opened that very last drawer on the bottom there and shut it. I was actually on about hour 4 at this point. So I had started at 9 in the morning and I did not leave until 6 o'clock that evening. So it's taking me just a really long time to pull all of the items out, to scrub everything down and put everything back. So I had to kind of start picking and choosing which drawers I was going to go through. So I am going to go back to her house at a later time, hopefully here over the next couple of weeks, and get all of the spaces that I missed. I did have to skip over a few cabinets and drawers, but I tried to kind of hit some of the main areas that I think she's going to be using whenever she cooks. So I did give all of the cabinet faces and everything a good wipe down so that whenever she walked in, when she got back from Vegas, everything looked really clean. There's just the insides of some of those cabinets and everything I still need to pull out. So I did use Easy Off, the fume-free kind. I wasn't sure if anyone had allergies, but I'm pretty sensitive to the Easy Off oven cleaner. But it had been sitting for at least 3 hours at this point. The next time I go, I do want to try to let it sit again. There were just a couple of spots in the actual oven that I feel like I could probably get off if I just did it one more time. There is staining in between the glass of the oven door, and I did talk about it with my friend. Like, we've both seen those videos where you can unscrew everything and get in between that glass. I've never done it. Neither has she, and neither of us were brave enough to take it apart. I would absolutely die if I took it apart, broke it, and I wasn't able to get it back together. So it is just, you know, an aesthetic thing. It's not hurting anything. I really don't trust myself taking this apart and then having it break. Yes, I am using paper towels as part of this project. I primarily use microfiber cloths, but in some of these areas like this, I do prefer to use paper towels. It is extremely messy with all of the chemicals. I did have a limited number of microfiber towels, and the kitchen was a huge project, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't run out before I went home for the day, but I would have used paper towels on this project otherwise. It Dawn Power Wash on that stovetop there, and I let that sit, and I pulled off all the knobs. I put them in the sink with extremely hot water and Dawn dish soap, and I'm just letting those soak. They were really, really covered in grease. And then I used the Dawn Professional Degreaser. It's like a purple solution. I'm using that on the front of this oven. So just trying different things to see which works best. I do like that Dawn Professional Cleaner, Professional Degreaser rather. I also use Simple Green later on in the video, and I really, really like that too as a degreaser. I think both work equally well. So if you've never tried either of those, definitely give them a try. I think they both do great cutting through the grease. When I do come back, again, I want to tackle this oven again. I want to see if I can get everything off in the oven and on the stovetop. There's still a few stubborn areas that I wasn't able to get off even with the razor scraper. So I think one more time and I'll be able to get everything off. I am going to try the Easy Off Oven Cleaner on the stovetop next time. I think it'll do a really good job in breaking all of that stuck on stuff down, so I won't have to scrub so hard next time. had first sprayed the oven cleaner on the inside of the oven, I had actually taken all of the racks out and the grates off, and I had put them in the bathtub, and I had those soaking with two or three dishwasher pods, and it did a really good job at breaking down all of that grease. It was actually pretty amazing, all of the stuff that was floating in the water, and I wish I filmed it, but for whatever reason I did not. But trust me, it was absolutely amazing, the stuff that was coming off. And even after cleaning these grates, my poor little scrub daddy there, I had to throw them out, and I grabbed a new one so that I could finish the kitchen. So all of these cabinets surrounding the stove were actually really greasy, and so I used both the Simple Green and wiped that off, and then I went back in with the Dawn Professional Degreaser, and I probably want to go back over them a third time the next time I come, because I wasn't able to clean those cabinets directly above the hood vent. So next time when I'm over there and I clean out the cabinets, I'll try to go back over them again and just see if I can get just another layer of that grease off. So all of the cabinets and drawers on this side of the kitchen, on the sink side, I was not able to actually get inside of the cabinets or the drawers, but I did want to get the front faces of all of them, just so it had that nice, fresh, clean look whenever she first walked into her kitchen. So I'll get to them on the second round, but they're pretty dirty in there, so it's going to be an awesome before and after the next time as well. So I'm excited about that, but I had just run out of steam. This is probably going into the 8th or 9th hour at this point. So it's getting pretty tired, and I know she needed to wrap up everything for that day, and she had a flight later that night to Vegas.
Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Hello. Oh, hi. Gonna help me clean? Huh? You gonna help me clean? Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I got cleaning on me. Got water on me. Hi. Yeah. What's going on?
It actually wasn't until this point in the day, so at the very end of the day, that I realized she does not have a dishwasher. So I am washing everything by hand and getting all of that put away. So the clay pots that are sitting on top of her stove, she actually cooks in them. She said it's like a traditional style of Mexican cooking. I didn't even know that you could cook in those. And she says she actually doesn't use a whole lot of like the pots and pans that I would use. She uses this clay pottery that's sitting on top and cast iron, and that is what she uses. So I thought that was really cool. So I was only able to get to a quick sweep and mop of the floors. The next time I come, I want to get down on my hands and knees and scrub her grout really, really good. And then get all of the kick plates and baseboards that are in that whole area and get those really, really clean. It could just use a good old-fashioned scrubbing.